Hey everybody, I was trying to do the rest of the intro here, but I am having such technical difficulties. I don't even know if notifications have gone out. I'm getting all kinds of alerts that stuff is not working properly, including my streamline to to Facebook. I don't know. Technical difficulties. I hope you're here. I'm hoping you're getting the notifications, and I'm hoping that the technical difficulties will not continue. But I can see already I'm glitching up. Hey, Chris. Good morning. Welcome. Appreciate you being here. Glad to see somebody's here. Like I said, I don't know. It's just I'm trying to. It ain't working. Ain't working the way it's supposed to work, man. Nothing ever does. How you doing, man? How's everybody going? Appreciate you. Let's start off with, if you're new, make sure you hit that subscribe button, tick that bell icon, click the all, and don't forget, smash up the like button. Again, I apologize for people who are we're waiting on X. God, why do I keep saying X? We're waiting on Facebook to see the stream. There is obviously some kind of glitch. Doesn't want to go to Facebook. Looks like people are starting to jump in now. So obviously some notifications are going out, and some of these glitches hopefully will pass. Because right now, not so much. I'll tell you what. I am having serious technical difficulties right now. Holy crap. Okay. Let's see. So welcome for those who are kind of just jumping in. Yes, you are here, and I'm glad for that. At least somebody's here. Oh man, that's funny. But appreciate everybody. I can see other people are kind of chiming in right now. So welcome, appreciate you. Feel free to jump in the comments, say hey, and we're gonna kick it off with a quick look at the markets. We're not gonna go crazy. We're gonna take a look at maybe the top 20 or so, just to get a quick look at where the markets are at. So Bitcoin 60,677. It's been hovering just above that 60K mark. It obviously dipped yesterday down to in that 58K range, and has slowly come back up. And but it's not looking very strong when it does. Personally, again, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, old guy, interwebs. I'm of the supposition that it's going to go back down a little bit. I think it's got to go back and consolidate a little bit more in that 58K range. But I mean, again, who the hell am I? Yeah, exactly. Roll with the punches. I am, man. I am, but I appreciate the support. I do. All right. So let's keep going here. Ethereum 2573, down a little bit from yesterday. I'm sorry, from Tuesday for when I was live on Crypto Matrix Money podcast. Holy crap. Anyway, BNB down 545.64, down 7%. Solana 145.60, up still a little bit, which is great. We have a lot of Solana supporters here. Let's keep going. XRP 57.5 cents, not bad. Dogecoin still above that 10-cent mark, looking good. TON still getting hit hard because of the arrest of its founder, although I believe he's out on bail at this point, stuck in France, but out on bail. Tron still holding hard and high at 16 cents. Cardano 36 cents, not really doing much of anything. AVAX 24.16, down about 1%, not bad. Goodbye for AVAX. Let's see. Chainlink. Let's do Chainlink, $11.40. Not a bad deal for a link right there, about half off if you ask me what it should be. BCH looking pretty good if you use it for what it's meant to be used for, down 5.5%, 329.56. Excuse me. Yeah, we'll go to Litecoin and we'll call it so we can oh no, we'll go to Caspa. Litecoin 62.95, and we got to stop at Caspa. 16.7 cents, up 5.5%. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. Let's see. So if you're just jumping in, make sure you hit that like, share, subscribe. Oh, that was supposed to be not financial advice up there while I was talking about all that. Oh boy, it's going to be that kind of morning, I'll tell you what. Ooh. All right. It's okay, Automatic Beats. I appreciate you being here, even though you're late. It's all good. It's all good. We just ran through the markets, though, so you missed that part, I guess. But thanks for being here. I appreciate you as always. Let's see. So let's get into what we're going to get into today, because I've got a lot of stuff I want to go over, and I'm hoping that you'll give me a little bit of latitude and a little bit of patience and engage in the live chat again. I'm sorry for those who were waiting on Facebook. If you come in and finding this later on Patreon or on YouTube or Twitter or whatever, X, whatever the hell they call themselves. Sorry, for whatever reason, it's glitching out. So you're going to have to watch it elsewhere. Okay, but we're talking about crypto's crazy influence on election 2024, and there has been, and I've done a number of live streams talking about this being a cryptocurrency election, and links to all those live streams are in the description, so go ahead and check those out. I'd like to think I've provided lots of good information, and everything from the anti-crypto army to building a pro-crypto army, and everything in between, as from a local, state, and federal level as far as elections are concerned here in the U.S. in 2024. So, okay, let's do a little bit about me. I can't even, I don't know, I guess I've been voting for better than 40 years at this point. Like I said, old guy, interwebs. And in that time, when I first started out, by the way, it was all about, whatever the populist ideal was, that's how I was voting. And then as I started working and having my money taken from me in the form of taxation, I realized that, wait a minute, something about this whole system ain't quite right. But even then, I didn't, I still voted. I guess I had maybe 3 to 6 things that were core that, that's how I voted. If you were gonna, be about, like, veterans, for example, that's one of my core, or was one of my core positions, still is one of my core positions. The more pro veteran and veteran services and that kind of thing you were, the more likely you were to get my vote. Didn't matter, Democrat, Republican, Independent, that didn't matter. Okay, same thing even on a state level. I know I'm talking overarching, and for most of what we're going to talk about today is presidential politics, although we are going to touch on the Senate race in Massachusetts a little bit. But anyway, so that was, the crux. If you were in one of my main categories of things that were of importance to me, that's how I voted. But now, since this last presidential election, so since 2020, I have pretty much become a single issue voter. And I mean, yes, those other things are quite important to me. I'm not going to lie. They still are. But now that I've been in this space and doing what I do here in this space for, God, going on 8+ years now, I have realized that, we need to have friendly people in positions that can help to promote this space and allow it to grow the way it needs to grow. And so for me, this crypto is going to be the deciding factor. And now let's even think about crypto. I mean, for those who've been around for any length of time, did you ever think that, like, by 2024, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, that kind of thing, would even be something that presidential candidates, Senate candidates, congressional candidates would be talking about in order to win their prospective seats? I didn't. I mean, come on now. Let's be honest. I mean, it wasn't even on people's radar because, again, what was it? When it first started out, it was, for illegal people doing illegal things on the internet. Only criminals used it. Well, hell, if you ask Elizabeth Warren, and that's still the only use case for Bitcoin. Never mind the fact that you have Bitcoin ETFs now and Ethereum ETFs now, and so on. But we'll ignore all of that, and we'll just say it's still used by criminals and only by criminals. But that has become an increasingly unpopular opinion, and especially here in the United States, where there is literally a crypto voting bloc, estimates between 50 and 80 million voters. And as we're going to touch on shortly, the crypto and the crypto industry as a whole is learning to play ball in the current ballpark. They're learning that, okay, we need to have PACs. So those are political action committees here in the United States that basically go out, meet with the various politicians and help to promote positive legislation and education for the cryptocurrency space. And as you're going to see momentarily, as I start bringing up some of this information, they're outspending everybody. Everybody. You know what? Okay. I think you got my point. I think you understand, hopefully, where I'm coming from and the premise, the point of origin for this particular live stream. All right. So please, like I said, feel free, share your comments in the live chat. All right. Let me see if I can get this first piece up to kind of support where I was just talking right here. Here it is. So right here, it says 25% of eligible voters under 35 own crypto. That's 40% of the total U.S. voter base. Okay. 51% say they'll vote for a crypto-friendly candidate. And why wouldn't they? I mean, at the end of the day, you've heard me talk about it all the time. Okay, I know a lot of people when they're trading and they're putting money into coins, it's about the number go up technology kind of thing to pump their bags and make money. And hey, I'm all about that. Have at it. But I am looking at it on a more long-term perspective for the fact of my children, my grandchildren, and their children, for that matter, because basically our government, while we're sitting here in debt over $35 trillion and increasing it by $1 trillion every quarter, basically, we've basically sold them out. We have sold them out. This system is dying, and it's not going to be pretty when it goes. And I think crypto is going to be part of the way that hopefully we all can be surviving through that shit show that's coming, because that's what it's going to be. And now let me bring this up. Hold on, here it is. Of course, on my screen here, everything's out of order, so I have to go find it. But right now, I want to bring up this minute and a half clip from the Squawk Box. I'll bring it up full screen so you can listen to it. And basically talking about crypto's influence. And how I was talking about PACs and super PACs in DC? Well, this is what she's about to talk about and explain how they're outspending all the other industries right now in order to get in front of politicians to help them, and politicians on both sides of the aisle, let's be clear about this, okay, to help influence positive legislation for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So let's let them do some of the talking here.
So nearly half of all the corporate money being pumped into this year's election is coming from the crypto industry, according to a new report from the nonprofit watchdog group Public Citizen. Now, the sector, which has been under high scrutiny by the Biden administration, is outspending big oil and banks this cycle, with Koch Industries in a distant second place in terms of corporate contributions. Heavyweights like Coinbase, Ripple, and VC firm Andreessen Horowitz, which has a sizable crypto book, have collectively given more than $146 million with the goal of trying to get candidates who are friendly to the industry into office. Now, most of that corporate money being raised is going to the popular and bipartisan pro-crypto super PAC called Fairshake, which is one of the top spending PACs this year. I spoke to their team last night to get the latest numbers on the 4 largest donors to Fairshake and its associated PACs. Coinbase has contributed $49 million. A16Z and Ripple have both given $47 million each, and Jump Crypto put in $15 million. Now, as for where all that money is going, a filing with the Federal Election Commission this week showed that in July, Fairshake dispersed almost $75 million and still has nearly $120 million left to deploy, with 73 days to go until the November election. The super PAC has pledged $25 million from that pool of cash to 18 House candidates in the general election to be split among 9 Democrats and 9 Republicans. It's committed another $18 million to 3 Senate races, Joe.
Okay, so you can see that a lot of money being spent at the federal level. That she talked about the House of Representatives, 6 and 6, Democrat, Republican, and also Senate races, 3 Senate races, I believe is what she said. And we know one of those is one we're going to talk about a little bit later with Elizabeth Warren and her anti-crypto army, and being challenged by John Deaton. And matter of fact, a primary race for John Deaton coming up next week, I think it is. So make sure if you're, I know I've got a contingent of people that watch from Massachusetts, make sure that you are, and so he can unseat Elizabeth Warren. So you kind of, again, you get the premise. I'm sorry, I know I'm glitching up here a little bit. I'm surprised my computer hasn't caught fire. I got so many tabs open. But I want to just kind of set the tone. So we've talked, so you know where I'm coming from. We've talked about that. We talked about how amazing it is that crypto is even like on the menu here for candidates in 2024. And then now to the tune that the industry is learning how to play the political game in order to be able to get positive pro crypto legislation through and pro crypto candidates into these positions in the House, in the Senate, and in theory into the White House. So what I want to do is now take a look. We'll start out a little bit with the presidential candidates. So as of the recording of this live stream, most of you already know, but I'm saying it this way for those who may watch the replay, who knows when in the future. Right now, it's pretty much 2 candidates. It's Donald Trump on the Republican side and Kamala Harris on the Democrat side of things. RFKjr, who has been touting Bitcoin and privacy and cryptocurrency and blockchain technology since literally the beginning of his campaign, has suspended his campaign and is now supporting the Trump camp. So just to, again, people watching this on the replay have the lay of the land, if you would, as to where we are in the timing right now of this particular presidential election cycle. So you guys know, and some of those, again, links in the description of this live stream, I've talked about the Digital Chamber of Commerce, who does a lot of great work down in DC, and their basic CEO and spokesperson, Perry Ann Boring. I'll get links to all of their Twitter accounts in the description of this live stream. So go ahead and check them out. We're going to listen to an interview that she did 2 days ago, I think it was, and was put out by the Paul Barron Network. Again, thank you to him for putting this information out. And I'm hoping allowing me to share pieces of this. We're going to take a look at 2 sections of this. And as we look and listen through that interview and her answers on a couple of things, where I'm going to put in my 2 cents along the way. So what is he saying? Oh, good Lord. Okay, automatic beats. I wouldn't be holding my breath about that right there. Although I think, didn't somebody do some kind of like AI generated thing like that? Oh my God. All right, let's not get off topic here. Get off topic. All right, hang on one second. Let me see if I can't set this up and get the correct one here. Share screen, and I think it's this one. Yes. All right. So we're going to chime in here, and we're going to start with Kamala Harris, so the Democrat side of things. Now, we all know that the FJB administration has been as anti-crypto as hell. We know that that continues as we speak with the latest action. Was it yesterday where help me. OpenSea was served with a Wells notice from the SEC. So now Gary can't, get securities. He can't get what he needs from different, cryptos. So now he's going to go after JPEGs basically because, it's Gary Gensler. But anyway, I got a little off topic. Yes, you did automatic beats. And yes, Chris, yes, exactly. Oh, I love you guys. You guys are awesome. I love it. All right. So let's take a listen to this. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna start off with Kamala, and now I've got a little bit more to show with regard to Trump, and for no other reason but because Kamala hasn't really put anything out there besides she really wants to create a new tax on unrealized capital gains. I mean, good Lord. But let's not get me going down that road. So Perry Ann here and the Digital Chamber of Commerce are literally working, the ones working to educate and hopefully get the Harris camp on board with regard to a different cryptocurrency policy for their own administration. Okay, so like I said, we'll play this and then I will chime in as necessary.
Obviously, with the crypto scenario with Crypto for Harris, but also what the Harris campaign has been able to do. So let's just dive right into that. First up, give us the lowdown on where you feel the Democrats are right now in terms of their policy for blockchain.
Yeah, well, it's been an incredible summer. I think this is the busiest summer I've probably ever had in my life, which is saying a lot. Things are moving very, very fast. So the DNC just they did their convention last week, so we're just coming off the heels of all of that. Of course, there was no mention of digital assets or blockchain at the convention itself. Did not make it into the party platform, but there is a lot of interest.
Now, I want to stop right there and say that she's mentioning, because again, the most recent convention was the DNC, and that they didn't mention anything about Bitcoin, blockchain, crypto, etc. But the point to that is neither did the RNC. Yes, Trump has talked individually. He talked at BTC Nashville and so on and so forth. But at the actual Republican National Convention, nothing was said there either. So while they're talking primarily, because the question he asked was primarily about the Democratic Party, and in this case, Kamala Harris, and she said they didn't mention anything at their convention, I just wanted to point out that neither did the RNC. So anyway, we'll keep going.
So I met with a member of the campaign just a couple of days ago. So the way that the Harris campaign has been operating, because we have the Biden-Harris administration, which of course is still in power, the campaign is operating that whatever the policy position of the Biden and Harris administration, that is the de facto policy of the Harris and Walz campaign. So the party or the campaign told me that they're not comfortable diverging from the existing administration policy until after the convention is over.
Okay, so that being said, I guess that would make sense to me. You before you actually get the nod at your convention, You don't want to necessarily completely rock the boat per se if you are the party in power. I understand. Okay, it makes sense to me. But now the convention is over, and we've had this. What was it? Crypto for Harris or whatever the hell it is. I don't know. We're going to talk about it actually a little bit in a little bit here. That's been a non-starter. But let's see where it goes and what happens. And I want to let her continue on because she's going to bring up a couple of good points. Her campaign slogan should be "Let me fix it. Let me fix what we broke." Yeah, exactly. I don't disagree with you there, but I'm trying to be as bipartisan as I don't know, as fair as possible. Let's go with that. But let's let Perry Ann jump back in here because this lady is very articulate. Again, she is literally working through the Digital Chamber of Commerce, talking with these congressmen, senators, and in this case, presidential campaigns about cryptocurrency on a daily basis. So let's let her do most of the talking here.
Mostly for political reasons, but for others as well. So we weren't really expecting to see much of anything until after the convention is over and Harris is formally the nominee. So how do you shift the Democratic Party being anti-crypto to pro-crypto? And of course, the election, there's a huge opportunity now that we have a new leader. Kamala Harris is much younger. She comes from San Francisco. She is tech forward. We see a massive opportunity here to get a new and an updated and more nuanced position. And we are still optimistic that she will update her position. We are expecting to see in the coming days a very generic statement come from the administration.
So again, she's going to say, stay tuned. They're going to talk about that potential statement that the Harris Waltz, whatever the frig his name is putting out there regarding cryptocurrency. And I don't know. At this point, she's coming off and part of an administration here in the United States that has been anti-crypto as anti-crypto can be. But I also know, I shouldn't say that. I also believe that she is kind of just the faceless puppet. Again, this is just my opinion. And the other seats of power behind her are the ones actually kind of pulling the proverbial strings. And we're going to talk about Elizabeth Warren being one of those shortly as we kind of get a little bit further here. And I apologize. I got a feeling this is going to be a long live stream. So I appreciate everybody in advance for sticking. So I'd appreciate it if you could smash that like button and give me the I was going to say thumbs up if you're on Facebook, but Facebook kind of glitched out and we are not streaming on Facebook right now. If you're on Twitter, I appreciate you sharing this. Thank you very much. So thank you. Appreciate all of your support with that. All right. Well, thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Right now we're about 30 minutes in and I'm about a third of the way through. Holy crap. Okay. Let me let her do some more talking. Because again, she is definitely more articulate and not for nothing easier on the eyes than me.
Tuned, but okay. I do believe there'll be some news from the administration soon. Something very high level, something very generic that basically says we don't hate crypto anymore.
Is it going to be substantive enough to really do it?
Probably not.
Well, I think you're getting to the heart of kind of the biggest question, at least I have.
Yes.
So I do believe that the powers that be on all sides of political parties see that there are great advantages to being pro-crypto. Yeah. There was a new poll.
And again, to the point, a voting block of between 50 and 80 million U.S. voters that have crypto and, in theory, skin in the game with regard to this election. Again, I've talked about it in my other live streams, build the pro-crypto army. And, I'm talking local, I'm talking state, and now, right now, obviously, we're talking federal presidential candidates. Sorry, just had to put in that clarifier.
Our study that just released over the past couple of days that said over 50% of all corporate money going into supporting election type activity came from the cryptocurrency sector. So there's great
And we just
incentive
looked at
to
that.
be pro crypto. However, where Harris sits today, because the Biden and Harris administration, again, has been so aggressive against our community,
Amen to that.
I personally believe that it'll be very difficult to win over crypto voters by making a statement alone.
Yeah.
And we're gonna talk about that in a minute, because I'm gonna highlight, and again, links to everything I'm showing you is in the description of this live stream, so you can go ahead and check it out at your leisure. But the next thing we're gonna do once she's done talking here, which is about another 2 minutes, I don't even think it's 2 minutes, probably another minute, is we're gonna look at a tweet from Balaji, and if you're not following him, you should be following him. Great macro analyst and cryptocurrency supporter. So anyway, to highlight exactly what she just said. So let's let her wrap this up.
Remember, she is in power.
Yep.
She's the vice
Could
president.
have
She's
had
not
these
the
changes
president.
already made,
Right.
or
so,
at least her position.
Yeah, at least for me, in terms of where I personally will be voting as a single issue voter, I would not
Amen.
be convinced by a speech or a statement alone. I would want to see some action. And that's our advice. That's my advice to Vice President Harris is she is talking to industry. We are in contact with her campaign. So they at least have opened the door and they're hearing from industry and they're taking input. So that's kind of step one. Step two is come up with a position,
Yeah.
something that's thoughtful. It can't just be, we don't like crypto because we there's not even a real reason for it.
Right.
Come up with some kind of nuanced policy platform,
The Gary
like what everybody
Gensler
else
approach.
has done, and then take a step. Do something. Pass one of the dozens of
Sure,
bills that's
yeah.
sitting in Congress today. End Operation Choke Point, or even just acknowledge it. Just acknowledge
That's a good point.
that it's
Acknowledge
happening, and outline some additional regulations for the bank regulators to get back in line in their statutory authority. So take some action. Are we going to see that? I'm
No.
waiting very anxiously, and I hope so, and that's what we're advocating for. That's what we're hoping to see.
What do you feel?
Okay. And that's the point of that. I agree. What are we going to see? I think we're going to see a lot of lip service. Well, okay, I don't even want to say a lot, but I think we might see lip service about crypto. But then, again, it's like, what are they saying versus what are they doing? And for the Harris administration, or Harris campaign, excuse me, she is still in power. She is the vice president of the United States. She has influence to be able to move even simple things like Perry Ann was just saying there, pro crypto legislation to help the banking industry forward. But is she taking that on? Not really. Now, to the point I was making a few minutes ago, I want to bring up Balaji, and hang on, here it is, and go through his tweet here, because I think this nicely sums up where Harris is and where she could help herself and her campaign, I guess, to convince cryptocurrency voters who are those, even if it's not single issue voters, where cryptocurrency is in like the top 2 or 3 items on of why you're voting for whom you're voting for. So let me get through this as quick as possible here. The Dem scam, he says, in VC, so venture capitalism, it's not real until the money is wired. And in DC, it's not real until Gensler's fired. I mean, there's an easy piece right there. That's why Crypto for Harris, that's the name I was trying to remember. Crypto for Harris is a scam. They want crypto's votes without spending any political capital. Well, I mean, I guess in theory, that could be said of both parties. But anyway, let's keep kind of going on here. If the policy shift was real, they could immediately fire Gary Gensler, free Roman Storm, repudiate the unrealized cap gains tax. That is just, I can't believe that that's even a thing at this point. And stop the SEC show trials. And he says that's just a start. Obviously, the party can do this instantly. After all, they just got a sitting president to stand down by threatening the 25th Amendment, pulling his donor support, and smashing him on the press relentlessly. So Gensler would fall through a trapdoor in a second, and if the right people push the buttons. And there's the key. If the right people push the buttons. And we're going to talk about who are some of these right people. And some of these right people, in my opinion, include people like Elizabeth Warren. So anyway, the party is trying, however, to see if whether crypto voters are idiots. If the Dems can get by with just words rather than actions, if they can pretend their hands are tied until after the election, then they can get crypto voters without having to spend any political capital in return. I agree. I agree. I do. So crypto for Harris is just another Dem scam. Great deal for them, though. Terrible deal for you. Make them spend the political capital now. Otherwise, you are falling for the scam that says, hey, send me 1 BTC today, and I'll send you 2 policies tomorrow. Oh, shit. I love that. And then it goes on and he highlights the Warren anti-crypto army here. So, again, I think that wraps up the Democrat Harris piece pretty succinctly. All right. So, the other side of the political aisle right now, headed by Donald J. Trump. Now, we've already seen Donald J. Trump in office, elected back in 2016, lost, and I'm using my air quotes, in 2020. And, coming back for round 2 here in 2024, round 2 in 2024. And so where is he at? Where has he been at? Well, obviously, his previous administration would by no shape or form of the imagination be considered pro-crypto. Absolutely not. He's in the past called, crypto a scam and in the United States, his job was to back almighty USD. And again, if I'm glitching out, I apologize, everybody. I can see I'm still pushing things here. I got a lot of tabs still to go. Anyway, so I get why people would be wary of Donald Trump being pro-crypto. Now, that being said, I also believe that people can change their stance on things. And I think that to some degree, Donald Trump has been orange pilled, for a lack of better phraseology here, for the cryptocurrency space, Bitcoin in particular. I think he sees a lot of people that he knows from other industries, other touch points for him who are involved in the cryptocurrency space. So it gives him wow, if this person's involved and this person's involved, there must be something here. Not to mention, he's been open about meeting with Bitcoin miners, which he did in Mar-a-Lago, a month ago now, something like that. And a lot of his inner circle of people, such as Vivek, now RFKjr, and others, are very much pro-crypto. However, he's also done a little bit of dipping his toes in the crypto space as well. And we're going to look at a couple of those things right now. And you know what? Chris is saying, Larry Fink changed his stance. That's true. It's about also more on the money side, I think, for him. But yes, you're right. Larry Fink it was just for, like we said, money launderers and criminals and so on and so forth. And now flight to safety, flight to quality. I forgot which one he was. Anyway, let's take a look at some of the Trump things right here. So let's start with this one. Now there really isn't much in the way of details here with regard to this, but it is interesting to me that he's talking about DeFi here. Trump announced his new crypto project, and as we scroll down, former President Trump on Thursday, this is last week, obviously, as of the recording of this or broadcast of this, announced a new cryptocurrency project called the Defiant Ones, but offered few details, which I get why. For too long, this is his statement here. For too long, the average American has been squeezed by big banks and financial elites. It's time we take a stand together, the former president wrote on his platform, Truth Social, and obviously linked it to a Telegram channel, Trump DeFi Project. So he's basically looking at the DeFi space, which, I mean, for those who are actually here for the long haul and not just the pump and dump stuff, DeFi is going to be the way to go. Right now, yes, it's nice to have stuff like Coinbase or Kraken or Gemini, but when we can actually completely interact with a DeFi platform, like get the USD to the DeFi, do whatever we want to do with it, and do it all by self-custody, that's when we're going to really be there. So just one other quote here. He says, I have truly fallen in love with crypto/DeFi. Stay tuned for a big announcement. So the point being is that now we've got him dipping his proverbial toes into DeFi. Now, we all know he's done some NFT things in the past. So there's also that. And Chris Hanley saying, I was always about the mighty dollar, right? If they can find a way to manipulate the market, they will adapt. Yep. No, truer words, Chris. Truer words, man. So let's go to the next one. I didn't even know this actually until I was doing my research for this particular stream. And I came across this as soon as I can find it. Hang on 1 second, right here. How about this? Donald Trump trading cards on Bitcoin Ordinals. How about that? Did you guys hear about this? Crazy, right? Donald Trump trading cards on Ordinals. That's awesome. not because it's Donald Trump trading cards, but just because he's putting them on Bitcoin. I think that's hilarious. I love it. I love it. So there's that. Just again, at least again, dipping his toes in, talking positively about crypto, saying that he's truly, you know, pivoted to liking the space and the industry, because now he probably better understands it, and he sees a lot of people who he respects being part of this space. This is why OpenSea got hit with a Wells notice. Exactly. That was the point I was making earlier. And Techman's in the house. Welcome, Techman. Lunchtime. Woo, dog. I am hungry. I'll tell you that. We're about 45 minutes in here on this live stream, and I still got a bit to go. I'm sorry. I'm gonna keep going. This live stream is gonna end up over an hour. I can see it. But Techman, appreciate you being here, my friend, as always. So, and then again, Donald Trump was speaking at Bitcoin Nashville, and this was probably the best part of the speech here. Let me just get it up here. It's like a whole 5 seconds long.
On day one, I will fire Gary Gensler.
There you go. I thought that was a good point. Yes, fire Gary Gensler, please. Stop this lunacy, like Chris just mentioned, with OpenSea. I mean, just stop. Now you're gonna go after the monkey JPEGs. Sorry. Oh, sometimes I don't know. All right. Well, before I jump into the net. Oh wait, no, I lied. One more. Let's wrap up, and I'm going to use this thread on Twitter from the Digital Chamber of Commerce because again, I like the Digital Chamber. We've been highlighting Periann and the Digital Chamber here for this. So let's use this to wrap them up. And yes, Tech Man, I'm with you. Fire all the assholes that come against cryptocurrency. Again, single issue guy right here. Appreciate it. And I agree. So let's bring this up here. Let me actually open the. Come on. Here. All right. So come on. Read more. Click on thread to read more. Why is it not? Oh, because I already opened it. Oh, the joys of live. The joys of the live stream. Yes. There you go. Exactly. All right, let's get to this. So basically, is Donald a crypto champion is what they're getting at here. So let me read through this. There's like 2 points, I think, in this thread. In May 2024, the Trump campaign announced that they would begin accepting Bitcoin in-kind donations, collecting over $4 million in crypto alone. Trump's vice presidential running mate, J.D. Vance, has consistently supported crypto, owns Bitcoin. I didn't realize that was the next sentence. He owns Bitcoin through Coinbase, and during his time in the Senate, has called out the SEC's crypto posture for supporting legislation for crypto clarity. By supporting legislation for crypto clarity. This year, Trump headlined the Bitcoin 2024 conference, delivering his anticipated keynote speech. He called Bitcoin a marvel of technology, praising its cooperation and achievement, and compared it to the steel industry about 1,000 years ago. Oh my God, 100 years ago. Trump also stated that if he's elected, he plans to create a national Bitcoin stockpile. And now, we've seen Senator Loomis put in her legislation to start buying 550 Bitcoin a day to help offset our ever increasing debt. 35 trillion and growing every crypto market Monday. That's how I started out, pissing you off with how much our debt has increased in a week. Anyway, make sure you check that out. So what's next for the crypto champion Trump? Trump laid out several pro-crypto positions at BTC Nashville, announcing plans for a national Bitcoin stockpile, pledging to dismiss Gary Gensler. Yay! His transition team and advisors continue to reflect pro-crypto campaign. We look forward to seeing what the next positions are. So I think that sums up Trump very well. So now let's take this to, and again, I'm focusing on the Elizabeth Warren campaign and John Deaton's challenging her for her Senate seat. If you've been around the crypto space, you know John Deaton, pro-crypto, smart guy, helped with the Ripple case with regard to getting XRP holders in front and part of that particular case that was 3 years and 4 years, 3.5 years in the making. So definitely prominent and crypto forward as far as a candidate is concerned. And in his disclosures, most of his wealth is actually in Bitcoin. So, I mean, money where your mouth is pretty much sums up that. But we have currently the anti-crypto army, which is, again, a hugely unpopular position, obviously, when you got a voting bloc of between 50 and 80 million US voters, that's being led by Elizabeth Warren. And for some reason, this lady has a crazy amount of influence on this administration. And Periann's gonna, in this next clip I'm gonna bring up, is a further piece of the interview on the Paul Barron network. So again, links to that is in the description of this live stream. Go ahead and check out the whole thing. We're only taking 2 pieces of that entire interview. But check out the whole thing because you'll also get some other tidbits that I think will be great information for you. But here they mention Elizabeth Warren and talk a little bit about her. And I think some of what they're going to say will I'm hoping help to make you have a bigger, broader perspective with regard to this whole anti-crypto crap that she's putting out there, and her anti-crypto army stance that she seems to be propagating at this point, basically through her whooping boy Gary Gensler. And so I'm going to let Perry Ann and Haunt poking on us. Yes, they do. Or yes, she is, I guess is probably yeah. I love it, Tech Man. Okay. All right. Sorry. Let me bring this up and let again, she's a lot easier on the eyes than me and probably a lot more eloquent than I am. So we'll let her do some of the talking here.
What do you feel Senator Warren's chokehold is going to do post-election?
I mean, that's a big one. I mean, she is the head of the anti-crypto army. She's been promoting herself as the villain of our industry. If you go to her campaign website, it says, "I'm building the anti-crypto army." I mean, she's, very publicly, kind of the linchpin of this whole effort. And then, it's kind of weird that you have a U.S. senator who has so much influence over the administration. I mean,
Exactly.
There's supposed to be separation, but we don't really have that. Our understanding is that when she dropped out of the presidential race or for the Democratic nominee in 2020, she put all of her support behind Biden. And our understanding is that there was some kind of handshake deal where she gets influence over financial services policy. And
does that surprise you? If it does surprise you, you may need to rewatch this live stream. That should not surprise you. And you should rewatch a bunch of my live streams with how they, congressmen, senators, are using inside information to play the market and make millions. Well, if you and I did that, we'd be in jail. Just saying. But that kind of backroom handshake, closed door deal does not surprise me, and especially coming from her, because I mean, she went to Washington to oppose the banking industry and fight for the little guy, and within the last 12 years she is now pro banking industry. And again, her last anti-crypto bill written by the Banking Association. Anyway, let's let Perry Ann continue here.
And that's exactly what we've seen. A lot of the people who were nominated to head the agencies of the financial services space were all, people that she had influenced and recommended and worked to get into those roles. Here's one example where this has gone really bad. Governor Lael Brainerd, who
and you know what? I want you to hear it. I was gonna cut this out right here, but it plays to the, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, the swamp that is DC, and how you have to kiss the proverbial ring in order to have any chance of furthering your political career. I mean, there's just these backroom deals and it just drives me nuts. But anyway, let her do the talking.
Now serves in the White House. She was one of the board of governors of the Federal Reserve. I worked with her extensively when she was at the Fed. She was kind of considered like the fintech governor. She was one of the younger, members on the board. She was really spearheading all of the work and the research on all things fintech, including central bank digital currencies. Myself, my team, my members, we had many, many meetings with her that were extremely encouraging and positive. So now she's at the White House. So and she's very anti-crypto. There was a meeting with industry and the White House recently. Industry brought up the whole Operation Choke Point. This is an issue. like, can you please do something? And essentially she denied it even existed.
So there you go. Went from being basically pro crypto, pro all of this, to getting into the White House and basically having to bend the knee and become anti-crypto, to the point that you won't even acknowledge something that isn't, it's not even a secret. It's open facing anymore about choke point 2.0.
How does someone like Lael Brainerd go from that to being anti-crypto? Well, our understanding is that she wants to be the Treasury Secretary.
So
and
there
in
you
order
go.
to be nominated, she needs
Yeah.
Elizabeth Warren's
Nothing.
nod of
Yep.
approval. And Elizabeth Warren is not giving nods of approval to anyone that's not pro crypto. So, as you know, she's up for election this year
Yep.
in the Senate. My friend John Deaton is running against her. I'm supporting John Deaton. I've endorsed John Deaton.
Yes, same
we
here.
need to take out the head of the anti-crypto army. But even if she is taken out, she's serving in a kind of unelected way,
Right, yeah.
with so much influence over the administration that she could even be more empowered if she lost her Senate race.
Now, frankly, that was a disturbing end to that particular section about Elizabeth Warren giving her more influence. But I mean, that's what happens with a lot of politicians, right? Once they're done in office, what do? They go and they start being, these working for these PACs and other groups that are sitting there in the halls of Congress trying to influence legislation going through. And they already know the ins and outs. They already have connections with the various elected officials. So it makes them the prime candidates to be able to support different things. And I'm sure she'll end up supporting the Banking Association, Lord knows, if she ends up getting unseated by John Deaton. Now, speaking of that, I'm sorry. Yeah, I have to show you this. I just do. I know I'm already pushing an hour here, but I just do. Sorry. To wrap a little bit about Elizabeth Warren. Turns out the anti-crypto army was basically a half a dozen academics and non-participating think tank lawyers, and the crypto army is 60 million angry voters. Yeah, exactly. More than people even thought. Now, the key is, can we motivate them to be voters in this election cycle? That's where, you and I, in my opinion, come in and continue to put out this information. Now, where I'm focusing here on Massachusetts, because again, I know I have a contingent of viewers who are from Massachusetts, and thank you. I appreciate you all. You need to get out and vote for John Deaton. Just saying. So let's take a look at John Deaton. And again, the link to his website, johndeatonforsenate.com, in the description. Go ahead. You can donate. I have already donated. I did donate in crypto. Basically, what happens when you do that, it goes through Coinbase. He's got it set up through Coinbase. And so they process all of that for him. With regard to your donation to crypto. I'm sure that gets converted into fiat at that point and so on, to maintain the, election laws and all that kind of stuff. But I wanted to show you this because to me, you got, I don't know, Elizabeth Warren. All you have to do is go and listen to her speeches and when she's talking to her base. And I've highlighted in some of my previous live streams, videos of her and her cronies basically dissing on John Deaton, calling him a crypto bro, which he's not. I mean, yes, is he pro crypto? Sure. Does he have a lot of his wealth in crypto? Sure. But he's not what you would consider, or any of us would consider, a crypto bro. And not for nothing, just basically, saying, oh, he's nothing but a tough guy, referring to his book, Food Stamp Warrior. I don't know, just completely diametrically opposed in personalities, Elizabeth Warren and John Deaton. And to that end, I just wanted to let this run here a little bit, and I'm going to start wrapping this puppy up here. I will never take for granted the people who have volunteered and helped me in this campaign. I am truly humbled by the grassroots movement we are creating to defeat Elizabeth Warren on November 5th. Elizabeth Warren has abandoned this state, and the people are coming for her seat. So let me just
looking for volunteers, campaign staff, Deaton law firm staff, you know, anyone that's been critical to helping me in my success. And so you can never thank people enough for supporting you. Never want people to think I'm taking them for granted, because I never will.
I'm here to support John Deaton, the U.S. Senate. There's several reasons why I support John. One of the biggest reasons is
you know what, I was going to let this run, but we're already basically, it's a couple of testimonials here at the end that he put in at the end of that, people who are volunteering to help him to unseat Elizabeth Warren in Massachusetts. Again, I know I've got a mass contingent out there. Please consider the fact that Warren is no longer doing what she said she was going to do, and now is in the pockets of the banking association. This guy is what he appears to be. And if you are even remotely pro crypto, and if you are even remotely a single issue voter, then here you go. Here's your chance to help make a change. Trade Intuition in the house. Appreciate you being here, sir. Appreciate that. Yes, smash the like. I'd appreciate that. I am going to start wrapping this up here. We're over an hour into this stream. And Joe, great show. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I really, really do. Disabled on, what's this say? Disabled on board video. Try again. I don't know what that means, but okay. Listen, Joe, appreciate you being here. Listen, matter of fact, for those who don't know, Joe, every day, 3 p.m. Eastern time on his channel, link to his channel in the description. So go ahead and head over there at 3 p.m. Eastern time every day. This guy gives you basically a free overview of the markets, how to trade. He shows you the simplest way using support and resistance. I mean, a lot of these people who show you how to trade can be very confusing, very, I don't know, like trying to show you they have the magic sauce, if you would. Joe is a very kind of KISS guy, keep it simple, stupid, you know, and shows you how you can use just support and resistance in order to do trading and actually make a profit. And if you're looking for something that's more in depth, he has an entire paid group. And again, links for all that in the description. Go check him out. Again, 3 p.m. every single day. Now, he's been having some technical difficulties with his computer. He was about he said yesterday, I was on his stream yesterday. He said yesterday he was about to admit defeat. I don't know if he did or not. We'll find out. But he's using a backup computer, so like he's not even showing himself on the screen, just basically his screen for trading. So show him some support right here. Trade Intuition, 3 p.m. Eastern time on the daily. All right. Anyway, so last but not least, if you're looking again, or you're in Massachusetts, or even if you're not in Massachusetts, even if you're just a crypto voter, you know, crypto-based voter, John Deaton for Senate.com, link in the description of the stream. Go ahead, donate, help him out. The primary's coming up in a few days, and then hopefully it'll be between him and Elizabeth Warren, and he can unseat Warren. That is the goal. And then we have one more pro-crypto person sitting in the Senate. And we basically cut off the head of the anti-crypto army. And again, I see my stream might be glitching a little bit. So I apologize for that. And but we're going to wrap this thing up. I really appreciate everybody that's been here. I know this was a longer than normal live stream, but I truly appreciate the support. I think this is a very important topic, and why I wanted to break it all down, because some people, it's just like, it's not worth voting. It's not worth, my time, whatever. Or they're just completely buying the crap people are selling without critically thinking. And you got to see what candidate is most in line with your values. Are you a single issue voter? If you are, which of these candidates is going to be best for your crypto, the future of crypto, and what you're going to leave for your children and grandchildren with regard to crypto? I think that think of things in crypto sometimes as epochs, right? I think this epoch of 2024 to 2028 is going to be a very telling epoch. It's kind of like that saying, how's it go? I might butcher it, so I'll apologize in advance. There are decades when nothing happens, and then there are weeks when decades happen. I think is how that quote goes. And I think we're about to see that as we move forward toward this presidential campaign. All right, that's it for this live stream. I am going to wrap this puppy up again. If you are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button, tick that bell icon, click the all so you get notified every time I'm live or drop a video. Matter of fact, dropped a video yesterday with the latest from Tangem Wallet. Tangem just put out new stealth cards, basically no logo, no nothing on the card, just a kind of flat black card. You can buy them. They're only doing a limited run of them, and you can pre-order yours now. They ship in about 3 weeks or so. So if you like Tangem and you're looking for a little extra privacy, that kind of thing, that they just look like a regular credit card with nothing on it. That's all it looks like. And you can have your cold wallet right with you. Or if you're thinking of another way to use Tangem Wallet, you can still pre-order the Tangem Ring. And I've pre-ordered mine. I can't wait for it to come in. That doesn't ship until October, end of October, they're saying. They're only doing a limited run of those as well, of 10,000 on that first run of the ring. So if you're looking for Tangem Wallet, go ahead and link in the description. You can go ahead and order that. Matter of fact, if you use that link in the description, not only does it support the channel, and thank you, by the way, for that, but you get to save 10% on whatever it is you're ordering. For yes, Tech Man, I appreciate that. Hit that like button. That was the next thing I was going to say. I'd say thumbs up for Facebook, but again, sorry if there anybody on normally watches Facebook. Chris, thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate all of you guys in the chat, keeping the thing alive and putting in your 2 cents. So don't forget, tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern time, Crypto on the Rocks, and then after hours crypto shortly after that. Now, I'm not sure how long tomorrow night I can stay live because I am getting on the road first thing on Saturday, heading to a Bitcoin blockchain conference in New Hampshire. So I got a little driving to do. So watch for videos with that. I'm going to try and put out a couple of videos as I'm kind of heading there. And I'm going to try to record as much of that as possible and use it a little bit later on and see whom I might be able to get interviews with while I'm there. So hopefully much more content coming from that. And I'm looking very much forward to that. So, but remember, tomorrow night, today's Thursday. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern time, Crypto on the Rocks. You get to vote for what we're going to dollar cost average into, have a drink, talk crypto, and then after hours crypto immediately following that. All right, everybody, I'm out. I appreciate you being here. Thank you for all your support. If you're watching this on the replay, comments, put your comments in there or your thoughts in the comments, and I will get back to you. All right. Have a good one, guys. Take care.